Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, here with my weekly Moon Day oracle message. So this is going to be a message for the week of July 26th, 2021. And before I really go further into explaining anything, I like to just ensure that everyone can hear me and see me okay. So if you are tuning in, if you could just drop me a comment, let me know that you're here and I can see if I can see comments. I want to make sure that that's good. And then also if you can hear me okay. So I see both Eleanor and Shelley tuning in. Welcome, beautiful souls. Let me know if you can hear me okay, ladies. You know, everything's a little tricky every now and then. Hi, Robin. Welcome, lovely. And so far, I cannot see any comments, so there we go. Courtney, hey, lovely. Welcome. Oh, awesome. Maria, welcome, gorgeous. Oh, good. All right, let me just unplug my mic just to... Perfect, ladies. Thank you so much. Bridget, welcome, gorgeous. Dawn, welcome. Sandra, happy Moon Day, everyone. How are you all feeling on this magical galactic new year, which I will be talking about for those of you who are like, well, what are you talking about? I'll explain that. And a magical new start to our week. So how is everyone doing? Jillian, welcome. Yeah, I know. I was like 10 minutes behind because I had to make my tea and, you know, it happens. Life happens. Divine timing. And it's super, super hot. So while you're all commenting and sharing how you're doing, I'm just going to go ahead and share that I'm live since, you know, everything is a little wonky today. I know, it was like 10 minutes. Jillian. No, it is not. It's actually purple tea, not the blue tea. It is blueberry lavender. I am behaving today with my tea. If I can get this to even share here. Okay, one more. And done. Yeah. I mean, you never know, right? Oh, thank you for that, Eleanor. I'm so happy that you did enjoy that. Yeah, very, very special energy the next 2 weeks, actually. So we're going to be talking all about that. And it's actually a period of about 22 days since Mary Magdalene's feast day, which was the 22nd of July. So about a period of 22 days, we're having this really powerful, magical inner workings. So I'm going to talk about everything. Let me see what so Dawn says, feeling like you're in a fog. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you've seen some of my posts or anybody else that's been sharing posts about the Galactic New Year, a day out of time that was yesterday. So that can really be adding and contributing into what you're feeling. I'll go into that further in a moment. Just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Okay. Hi, Laura. Welcome, gorgeous. All right, let me just adjust this a little bit so I'm not right on top of this here. Okay, so welcome and blessings to all. For those of you who are new to my page, I just want to briefly go over what you can expect to find here. But for those of you who are not new to my page and come back every week, Thank you so much for your continued love and support, and I'm happy that you enjoy everything that comes forward here on Moon Day. So for those of you who are new, welcome, and I hope that you do enjoy your time here. I try to do it every Monday, but it really does depend upon my energy and what's going on, as well as divine timing. So I like to attempt to be here every Monday or Moon Day to go live around this time, 4 p.m. Eastern, to bring forward a message for the collective, for all of us as one. So what that means is that these are not individualized readings or personal readings that I do here for everybody, but it is a generalized overview for all of us that we can, kind of giving us that insight or awareness into what we can expect energetically for the week coming up. So this particular week being July 26, 2021, very potent galactic new year starting today. I'm going to talk about that. So what I like to do is first I like to talk about news and announcements. Then I go into the energy forecast, just kind of talking about the astrological events that might be going on this week that are might be having some impact on us and really what we need to know about them. Also, maybe anything that I'm feeling intuitively or energetically, and like to share that information. Then I do use oracle cards to bring forward a message for the week for all of us. And after that, I like to pull a Mudra for us all to work with. I said Mudra. So I don't think that was was that like a Freudian slip or something there? Mudra. You heard it here first, okay? So the mudras, I will explain what they are and talk more about them once we get to that part of the segment, because there's a bit to discuss. So, hi Lara, welcome lovely. Thank you for being here. I'm going to try to take a sip, it's so hot. Let's see, where do I want to start? I guess I'll start with what I've been feeling, which is pretty amazing. Not to, toot my horn or anything, but toot toot. I have been feeling really good over the last week. I felt very in tune, very in alignment, ever since the evening before the 22nd, so the 21st, and 22nd was Mary Magdalene's feast day. Many of you may have already seen that post that I shared regarding information about her, how this is her feast day, and even a channeled message that I received last year and brought forward. Hello, Lisa. Welcome, lovely. So ever since that evening, I received very potent instructions from Mary Magdalene, as well as my highest self, to really go over the next 22 days into deep communion with my soul, to really enter into sacred ceremony with myself and just make every day a ritual. And the reason for this is because of this powerful energetic stargate that we are in, known as the Sirius Lion's Gate. And so Mary Magdalene's feast day really kind of like kicked off this opening to that, which I'm going to talk more about. But ever since then, I've really felt this deep calling to go within, to really connect more with the wisdom of my soul, what wants to come forward, doing a whole lot of soul accessing. I think I want to say it like that, soul accessing, and bringing forward some really potent information for myself and even what wants to be shared in the future going forward. So this is a great time for that. It doesn't matter if you didn't start on the 22nd. I'm here to tell you that now is a great time to start. If you would really like to start to make a special time, I probably set aside about an hour every evening for myself on top of, the 20, 30 minutes I do a day in the mornings of meditation. This I set aside just for really sitting into meditation, and really kind of connecting into what wants to come forward from my higher self. There's no experience needed to do this. Just grab a notebook and really just kind of like light some candles, put on some sound frequencies, or you could do that on YouTube, or a spiritual playlist if you have one, and just really allow yourself to come into yourself more and connect with that again, feelings or intuition, anything that's even coming up as far as emotions, it's a great time to process through all of those. So this is a really powerful time for ascension, a really powerful time of expansion in our consciousness as a collective and ascension of the planet. So, like I said, I've been feeling amazing. I've really been feeling that, harnessing that Leo energy as the sun moved into Leo this last week. And we've also had the full moon in Aquarius on Friday. So it has been a time of empowerment, of really feeling my royal sovereignty. And when I say that, I don't mean like, I've got some like, connection into, current, what we understand as the royalty and the monarchies. This is about your royal sovereignty, your royal star lineage. And at the end of the day, we are all royal sovereign beings, as we are source incarnate, right? We are love incarnate. So we are all divine. So I've really been feeling that power, and Leo energy and Leo season is really bringing that more and more to the surface for all of us to really step into our true divine potentiality, the truth of who we really are, to really removing the veils of illusion around anything within our lives, within circumstances around us, really kind of discarding anything that's just not in alignment anymore, or that maybe in the past we would have felt a little bit more in fear surrounding, questioning it or discarding it, or even like standing out of the crowd. Now we all of a sudden have this, I want to say this, like the peaceful ferocity, if that even makes sense, total oxymoron, but the peaceful majesty of that spiritual warrior being awoken within us to step more into our truths and not being swayed or even tapping into how that might look to others. And I posted something the other day. Some of you may have seen it. If not, the post is still there on Magical Me, as well as my personal page. And I think it called it Honoring Your Wild. And that's been a very strong message coming forward about really honoring you at the end of the day, and whatever it is that really feels like home for you, or, just what you feel called and driven to do, what you desire, that does not have to make any sense to anybody else or even into the current status quo. So really, that's about harnessing your divine voice, your divine essence, and bringing that more forward. So that's really what I've personally been feeling. Every now and then, I will tap into an energy that is not so ferocious and courageous. It'll be the distortion of that, if that makes sense. So the lack of courage, or feeling sudden waves of collective energy. That's how I know it's not mine, because it's not consistent. It'll be more like, feeling lack of confidence, maybe, again, that whole not being heard, not being seen, feeling, again, like a little bit of hopelessness would come up, but it would be very brief and fleeting for me. So that's clearly, I want to bring it up because it is something that the collective might be feeling, you might be feeling. It is so important to not disregard it and really honor and understand, or sift through it and, kind of look into where this is coming from. And I talked a lot last week, not last week because I wasn't here last week, but the week before on Moon Day, about Chiron retrograde, which we are still in and will be until December. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So it does bring up those woundings that we might still be carrying, even though we thought we were well beyond them. It's bringing them up in the opportunity to turn that wounding into wisdom. So that's why. So taking what would have rendered us powerless, helpless, or emotional, it's now bringing us into that space of powerful, stepping more into fearlessness and courageousness to move beyond and transcend, to really reclaim our power. Okay. So hey Mom, hey Ken, welcome. Thanks for being here. Anna, welcome. Anybody else that I might have missed, I'm so sorry. Jerry, welcome. Thank you for being here. Feel free to comment away, guys. I'm going to get to the comments after this part is done. This way I just don't get distracted because it's very easy for me to do that. But I will get back to everybody's comments, so please feel free to comment away. So there's a lot going on that's facilitating all of this. One being that we did move into the sign of Leo. The sun moved into Leo. So again, there comes that royal majesty, sovereignty. And I know all you Leos are sitting there going, let me fix my crown right now. But that's exactly the energy that we're meant to be in now. Obviously, there's a balance in everything. There's a fine line between arrogance and ego and confidence and vulnerability as well, to allow yourself to be, exposed and put yourself out there in a way that feels vulnerable. That is also powerful. So, fine line, everybody. But so we are now, as I should say, yesterday, brought about what we are calling a day out of time, or what has been called a day out of time. So you might have noticed that you've been feeling a little bit out of sorts over the last day or so. Maybe like try as you might, trying to do things, you just couldn't do them. Maybe having lots of emotions coming up where you're feeling like at your wit's end with things, where you're kind of ready to just like make a clean break from certain things or situations or even people. Because that day at a time, what that translates to is on the 22nd, I told you, Mary Magdalene's feast day. Hello, beautiful Rachel. Welcome, love. Mary Magdalene's feast day was the 22nd, but it opened up it was facilitating a portal or an energy opening to the Sirius star energy alignment that's happening with Earth on the 20, I believe that happened actually, does that happen today? Yes, it happened today. So what happens prior to this is that in ancient times, we actually did not record time based upon a solar calendar like we do now. It was a lunar calendar, more in alignment with the divine feminine and the sacred feminine energy that is, or cycles that are naturally nature. So we had a 13 moon cycle with 28 days. So that would equal up to be about 364 days. So that extra day, that 365th day would technically be a day out of time before the new cycle would begin. So today is actually the first day of the new cycle, known as the Galactic New Year. And like the ancient Mayans actually recorded, time this way. And I think that they might have been, I don't know if they were the first to actually, if I read something, they were the first to actually record time this way. But again, like I said, so yesterday was kind of like this standstill. And it was so where we were leaving the old, not yet in the new. And so you could see that it was almost like this point of pause before redirection, or what we refer to as 0 point. So we are coming to that space of nothing and all thing, so it's like that space of where, time stops, but yet we're ready to move forward. So it's like this great potential there. So we're getting ready to leap into a new cycle, which is, as of today, the Galactic New Year. So now Sirius, the star Sirius, is actually believed to be our spiritual sun, if you will. So now our actual sun rules over the masculine energy, but also over forward movement and putting action into things. It's also our physical galactic core, right? Well, then Sirius being our more spiritual. So I like to look at them, and this is just me. Maybe other people do not agree or look at this differently. But I like to look at it as like the lion and the unicorn, So we are moved into the sun in Leo. So again, there's that has a potential there for the physical, meaning more ego, but not in a negative way. But then you've got the Sirius sun, which is our spiritual sun. So that could be like the divine mind versus the ego mind, if you will. So they are aligning, and Earth actually aligned with it, with Sirius today. And we're going to continue to expand and build an energy as Sirius and our sun continue to align more and more, with the peak actually happening on August 8th. Now, August 8th is known as what we refer to as the Lion's Gate. And this is because the sun is in Leo and it aligns exactly with the Sirius star. I wanted to call it Sirius sun because that is really what it is. It's our spiritual sun, but it's a star. So that all comes into alignment. And in the way that it was recorded, even in ancient times, which it still does, it actually would align in Orion's belt there, which is the three pyramids of Giza. So over Egypt, this all would happen and align on August 8th. Now we can continue to feel and experience this energy until August 12th, but the actual peak will be on August 8th. So that's the 8-8 Lion's Gate that you've all maybe probably heard about, but maybe don't really fully understand. Or maybe all of you heard it and you do understand it, but the 8-8 Lion's Gate. So that alignment, so the way that I see it explained is like this great, as it aligns over those three pyramids of Giza, it actually opens up like this stargate portal in the sky, and it sends down these beautiful, energetic rays of crystalline diamond cosmic light into the planet and into the collective consciousness. And this actually helps to facilitate an upgrade of our own crystalline body, our crystalline light body coming more online, as well as a upgrade in our DNA, but more importantly, an activation upgrade in our consciousness for ascension. So this is helping us to shift and expand and evolve more and more. So this actual occurrence happens every year. It is an annual thing. So every year we get more and more tuned, if you will, to higher frequency light. So this is really helping to promote us coming more into that place of sovereignty, that place of power. But Leo has now, why they call it the Lion's Gate, is also because the sun is aligned in the zodiac of the Leo at this time. So that brings also about a more playful, whimsical, loving vibration as well. So this is really more about us helping us to expand into a place of doing what we want to do, what feels good for us, not so much as being trapped and locked into fear-based conditioning and programming and outdated concepts and constructs that just do not align anymore. This is about us really breaking free of that and stepping more into what feels right for us, more into the individualism of breaking away from the mold, if you will, and really starting to harness more of what you want to do on an individual level, but also on a collective scale. And also planet Earth is evolving and ascending right along with us. So it's breaking away and creating this energy. As Sirius is all about the kind of, you want to give a little bit more of a back history here, is for those of you who aren't familiar, Sirius is the energy of blue ray. And a blue ray energy is the ray of, one of the rays of creation, and it is the ray of divine will. And so it harnesses the masculine energy, but it also, blue ray also carries the vibration of the magenta ray as well. And you can see these beautiful magenta roses, which also Mary Magdalene embodies, which is the divine feminine. So now you've got the energy, then I've talked 2 weeks ago about this union occurring within us here of that masculine and the feminine aligned in one vibration there, in one ray, really coming forward to bring that alignment of divine will versus the ego will, and divine truth, justice, unity, and love. So that vibration is all coming in, being anchored, and helping us to shift more. So this is helping us to come more into our paths, our purposes, our higher callings. Also having more of unity as a species, having more unity in relationship dynamics and partnerships. This is really more moving us into the energy of the one again versus that whole individualism. But again, we each have our own individual lives that we are living here, so it is going to help facilitate and shift your life more into what you want versus what you have to do, if that makes sense at all. So over the next 2 weeks up until August 12th, if you have the opportunity to even do it at least a few times, but if you really could create a ritual for yourself every evening, just sitting in sacred ceremony with yourself, just, shutting off the lights, go into a room, quiet, put on some meditation music or some frequencies, even if you can search like Syrian frequencies or Lionsgate frequencies, get yourself into that vibration, light some candles, calling in your higher self, your family of light, and just asking for, guidance, insight into your soul's wisdom and what wants to come forward for you. And just really making this, and the reason why too that this is important is because as we go through life, everything is always so fast paced. We're always on the go. We've got to go to work. We've got to take the kids here. We've got to pick up groceries. We've got to do this. And, these high frequency vibrations, they're happening, but they cannot do the work for us, if that makes sense. So if everybody notices, sometimes like I have the most amazing experiences during, dream state, or, I receive a lot of messages ready before I'm falling asleep at night. The reason for that is because you're in stillness. When you are in stillness, you are in receptivity. And that is when we are most open to receive. So coming into sacred ceremony in stillness with yourself allows you to also integrate the energy that's coming in. And as that energy comes in, it does stir up sometimes some deep thoughts, emotions, circumstances, even externally around you in your life that might be mirrors showing you what is ready to be processed and released so that you can make that quantum leap into that new year, into that new energy space, if you will. Realistically, what that means is a new timeline for you to experience all new things and not having to continue to loop on an old, outdated cycle. All right. So I hope that I did that justice for everyone, and that, if you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I will try to answer as best as I can. Because I know that's a lot of information to throw at everybody. But amazing information. All right. So with that said, to really kind of make that, really anchor in more of that energy, as this is really a very comfortable, familiar time for me, as one of my main rays that I work with is the blue ray, and Sirius energy being part of my immediate galactic lineage, if you will. Karen, who is my other partner, one of my partners at Oracles of the Light, who is also a sound and vibrational frequency therapist. The two of us have decided to make use of these new beginnings and this new time and help to anchor in this Syrian Lionsgate energy by offering our first in-person sound bath session. So this is going to be a group sound bath, and we are going to be actually offering this the day before the Lionsgate, which also falls on a new moon, everyone. So very powerful. But we're going to be doing it on August 7th. I believe we're shooting for the time frame around 7 p.m. We're going to be doing this again in person at Oracles of the Light facility. So space is limited. But we are going to be working with crystal singing bowls. We are going to be working with planetary frequencies and sound gongs. We are also going to be working with light language, vocal toning, and meditation. And we are going to be anchoring in frequencies such as Sirius frequencies, such as the 888 frequency, such as planets, Venus, the sun, the moon, all to help bring this alignment in and help to clear at the same time any densities, any energetic debris that might be coming up for release at this time. Because as we release things, they are released through experience, through feeling. So sometimes if we don't know how to process them on our own, Sometimes that just the residual energy can hang about within our energy fields, within our chakras, and create a little bit of blockage for us. So we want to help to clear out and dissolve those for you and help you to align and harness those energies as they flow in. So we're going to be actually doing a guided meditation to start to ground your energies and to open up your column of light to prepare you for the energy to come in as well. So if you're interested, we have not yet put the event up. We're going to be putting it up by tomorrow. So again, space is going to be limited because there's only so many people that we can get in the room. But if you're interested, again, just keep an eye out. All of that, those details will be posted on both Oracles of the Light page and here on Magical Me. Okay. So yes, so we are super, super excited because it is our first ever in-person one. So yeah, it's going to be, and what a better full time to do it on that Lionsgate. Oh, thank you. All right, I'll check to see if I missed anything, then we can go into the Oracle message. Oh, Meredith, oh, I wish you could come too, sweetheart. Hi, Tracy, welcome. Hi, Marianne, welcome. Okay, I don't think I missed anything, but if I did, because, you know, Facebook is interesting sometimes. Oh, Eleanor, I know. I wish you did too, sweetheart. We might see if we can get a little helper and somebody can maybe just do some like live snippets for everybody so you can at least maybe, you know, catch some of it. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Lara, hey, come on over, sister. Come on over. Yeah, so it's going to be really, really interesting. All right. Let me just, I think that's it, right? I'm going to lose my train of thought now. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. So I've decided to work with, in lieu of, you know, this star gate that we are actually moving into and building in energy, I decided to work with Cheryl Yambrick Rose's Art Through the Starstream Oracle for this week's message. Okay. So I'm just going to ask everybody to come into sacred space with me. And what that means is, because we are all energetically connecting right now, it's a good time to really just detach and bring all of our energy into one space. So, sacred space. So I'm just going to ask you all to just take a moment, if you can, to just, if possible, safely close your eyes and just detach from anything that's going on right now, any stress, any worries, any thoughts for dinner or anything like that, and just kind of take a moment and just take a nice deep cleansing breath in through your nose. And I'm just going to weave some light around us. And release the breath, blowing it out of your mouth. And as you take another deep breath in, just release all tension in your body, from your jaw, from your neck, from your back. If you clench your stomach, take note and just breathe and release. And last one, deep breath in. And just drop your mind down into your heart space, into your feeling center. All right, everybody. So let's see what guidance comes forward for the collective good for the week of July 26th, 2021. Thought one wanted to pop out, but it changed its mind. There we go. You know, I love when this happens. So, just in case you don't want to take my word for it, you can take the divine's word for it, because the card is Redwood Deva. Enter the enter the silence and listen. And the card is the 39, which would break down to be a number 3 numerically. Threes are all about the birthings of a new cycle. And not just a new cycle, but an entire new book. An entire new adventure waiting to be written. And so, what is it that you want your new book or adventure to look like? Well, we got to think about that, don't we? We need to sit in silence, in stillness, in receptivity, and be open to receiving the divine inspiration and wisdom of our soul. That soul accessing I was talking about earlier today. So the Redwood Deva here, depicted as, this is a tree spirit or being in a sacred redwood tree. And so trees, it's interesting because before I, ever had any, I don't know if you want to say it, like proper training, which, I still don't think I've ever had like any proper training when it comes to like your intuition or meditation. I always just intuitively knew to sit with the trees, to go back to the trees when I wanted to heal, when I felt like my energy was low, when I needed to connect with the divine or my higher self. I would go and sit with the trees and listen for their wisdom. When I would go on my meditative journeys, I would just envision a massive tree, and I would see a doorway in that tree, and I would just venture into that. And this is all happening in my mind, by the way, my mind's eye. And I just intuitively ventured into the doorway. Sometimes entering into the heart of the tree took me up. Sometimes the heart of the tree took me down. And it was what I needed to see, experience, or know. And interestingly enough, that is what we would refer to as shamanic vision questing or shamanic journeying. So trust in yourself when you sit in stillness and what comes forward. There is no right or wrong. There is only what, you feel divinely called to do. Sitting in nature is one of the best things that you could do when you want to sit in silence to hear the voice of your soul. And really kind of coming back to nature, because we are nature, right? Trees were one of the first beings, next to dragons, believed to have actually inhabited the earth, as they are the axis mundi, the bridge between the worlds of both heaven, cosmos, and earth. And we too are those axis mundis. We are the trees. So it's about anchoring our roots deep down into the heart of earth, into the dragon lines, the ley lines, and having ourselves be nice and grounded, so that when we open up then extend our branches up in our antenna into the higher realms to retrieve wisdom from our souls, that we are not, that we are nice and anchored and grounded to be able to hear, feel, see, receive it, if that makes sense. So venturing into nature, or even into silence, into yourself, in your house, as long as you can eliminate some distraction, to really sit into that space of receptivity and allowing the messages that want to come through. You might see nothing. You might hear nothing, but that's okay, because sometimes it's just about being and nothing more. And this is how we allow the integration of these higher frequency energies to happen, the ascension, upgrades, the expansion of consciousness. It all can be just received through downloads, even if you don't know that it's happening. And a lot of people trip themselves up on the mental part. I need to be doing it this way. I need to be seeing this way. And that's not at all the way that it works. It's through your sense of feeling, through a knowing, through just again, being. You don't have to see things all the time. I used to meditate, and all my students are probably sick and tired of hearing this story, but the first time I started meditating, I didn't know that meditation was visual. I thought that there was some strict breathing techniques that I was forced to do, and just, I had to know how to do it. And when I breathed enough a certain way, or in certain rhythms, or in certain cycles, that I would suddenly have all this wisdom and knowledge. And that's not necessarily how it works. I mean, it can happen that way. But then I would say that people would tell me, well, no, that there's a visual aspect of meditation as well, and you can journey that way. And I would say, well, I don't see anything. I'm not visual. One day, out of the blue, my little voice told me to go take a shower and meditate in the shower. And I thought, well, that's the weirdest thing ever, but I'm going to do it. Don't you know that I was off in some enchanted realm in the spring and visited by not only angels that wish to step forward and communicate and teach me things, but also my own higher self and unicorns. And of course, the natural thing that we want to do in that mind is to rationalize and to try to make sense of everything. But know that what doesn't make sense to the logical mind makes sense to the divine mind. So trust and receive, even if you don't understand, and don't try to control it, just allow. Okay? All right, everybody. So that is the oracle message for the week, is to enter the silence and listen with your body, with your mind, with your heart, and with your knowing. Okay? Least of all, your ears. Never listen with your ears. All right, moving into Mudra time. I wonder if I missed anything. Hey, Angela, Laura, welcome. Thanks for being here with us. Donna, welcome. So I did go over some pretty potent stuff. Thanks, Rachel. Love you, babe. I did go over some pretty potent stuff that you may have missed regarding the energy forecast of the week and what we're experiencing over the next 2 weeks. And the oracle message plays into all of that. So on the replay, you can catch all that back. Okay. With that said, I'm going to move into the mudra, and I am working with Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body by Alison D. Nicola. So really quick, mudras are an ancient healing and enlightening technique that has been used for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. And a lot of ancient sculptures of deities can actually be shown depicted forming mudras, with their hands, and making these symbols or gestures with their hands. These are mudras. So the word mudra itself is Sanskrit, and Sanskrit is believed to be a very ancient form of light language, and so very powerful language within itself. But the word mudra translates to seal. And this can be seen or understood as a activation seal that is formed with our hands, because we have chakras within our palms, and we have activators within our fingers that are all connected to the elements. When you form these seals, they activate and align with your energy centers known as your chakras, and also link into your 4 main energy bodies, which are your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body, just to kind of keep it short and simple here. There's obviously more to it than that. But through utilizing mudras and channeling your intention as well as energy, known as your life force energy, gets channeled into these energy centers. Now, each mudra connects and resonates with one or more of our chakras. So working with one mudra can actually work with all of the chakras at once, thus all of the energy bodies at once, really depending upon which mudra you're working with. So working with these mudras or forming these seals activates and triggers our energy centers and channels pranic life force energy into those energy centers to promote a healthy flow and free flow of that life force energy through those centers. Again, those centers all work with those different layers. Now, it also can facilitate clearing and removal of blockage within the energy centers, which could create issues in our, that blockage, I should say, could be creating issues within our physical body, could be creating issues within our emotional center, within our mental body and our mind, and controlling, paranoid, limiting thoughts, things like that. And obviously keeping us in that closed off space. So when you utilize these mudras, it flows that energy or activates that flow of energy through all those life force centers. Yeah. And then it helps to clear out and dissolve that blockage so that we have those removal of that blockage or anything that we might be carrying even on our physical body in lieu of it. So it can help to alleviate physical issues, okay? With that said, it also helps to facilitate spiritual enlightenment and consciousness expansion. So they are incredibly powerful. So powerful that if we choose a mudra that might work with a physical part of your body that you might already have or suffer from some sort of issue, like an ailment, it could then overstimulate that area, which might cause a bit of aggravation, irritation. So sometimes the mudras do come with caution that they're going to connect with the center, just to be cautious if you choose to work with it. And I'll let you know in advance if the mudra that comes forward has any caution. Okay. All right. Hi, Robert. Welcome and thank you for being here. I did actually go through the Moon Day message for the week, as well as the energy forecast, but they will all be available on the replay if you choose to go back and watch it. Okay. Thank you for being here. All right. So let's see what mudra comes forward for the week. So I like to pull the mudras to give us that assistance in not only understanding the messages that come forward for us this week, but also to facilitate our own healing and facilitate the growth and expansion necessary in order to continue that evolution process there. So they oftentimes do go hand in hand with the message that comes forward. So I'll pull the message, discuss it, and then we will do it together for anybody who chooses to. I will take a photo afterwards and post it on my page so that you can save it to your phone, and please work with it all week long if you like, okay? All right, so what mudra comes forward for the collective good for the week of July 26, 2021, the Galactic New Year? This makes perfect sense. It is the Garuda Mudra, and it is freedom. Look at that. And it's blue. Syrian energy there. All right, so this is the mudra that assists with openness, balance, even metabolism. It directs breath and awareness to your neck and throat area. Which is interesting. Our throat is our authentic expression, and to embody our authenticity often comes through communicating, expressing it in the world, right? So through our throat chakra. And it also aligns the cervical spine. It releases tension from your neck and jaw. It also helps to balance energy and metabolism, okay? So we're going to do this together. There is no caution with this, right? Super simple one. So you're going to bring your left hand in front of your heart, palm facing inwards, okay? Then you're going to cross the back of the right hand behind the left hand, behind the left palm until the thumbs meet, okay? So wait a minute. So you're crossing the right hand behind the left palm until the thumbs meet. Yeah, so just like that. interlace the thumbs and fan the rest of the fingers outward. You're going to bring the mudra up to your throat and then relax, straighten your spine. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And release the breath out of your mouth. Again, nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Last one, deep breath in. And release. And you can state, I embrace the freedom and openness of my pure expression. I embrace the freedom and openness of my pure expression. I embrace the freedom and openness of my pure expression. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. Right? Very, very powerful mudra to be coming forward on a week of such intensity with this galactic new year, stepping into a new beginning. Oftentimes, what do, when we take that step forward or that courageousness that comes up, it is promoting freedom and liberation. So it's going to be rather interesting to see what magic is occurring this week. All right. So with that said, when you choose to do this on your own at home, you can do this once a day. It takes literally not even 5 minutes. But as you work with it, you can increase the amount of breaths in increments of 3. So today we did 3. Maybe tomorrow you want to do 6. The day after you want to do 9. Day after 12, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much for being here with me this magical moon day. I do look forward to seeing you all next week. And hopefully I will be seeing some of you at the Lionsgate Singing Bowl Sound Bath in person. So those details will be up tomorrow. Take care. Have an amazing week. And we'll see you soon.